So in this tutorial, what we are going to do is we're going to set our HDRI according to our camera. Like this view of the camera, you can see this faulty HDRI. Well, actually it's not faulty. The dimensions are off and we need to make it good looking so it can add effect to our scene, not to destroy the scene, but to add effects. Now the trick is, once you set the HDRI here, whenever your camera angle changes, it will be destroyed again because the angle changes to the direction where HDRI is not resolved. Now how to nullify this effect? Like how to have two different separated angles, camera angles, and keeping both of the scenes HDRI in proper line. How to do it? So let me show you an example like this. If we are going to fix this HDRI, like suppose you give it this HDRI. Now remind you, the camera is moving but the angle is same, and as you can see it's moving out. But this right here, when the camera angle changes, as you can see here, the HDR is pretty messed up. Now how to set in kind of way that here you will get a proper HDRI in the background, and here also you will get a good HDRI. So I'm going to use a short trick that I use for the movies I make. But before that, if you do not know how to set HDRI to your scene, please check my other video. I will give you an I button somewhere here. So first check that video, and how to set the HDRI. Now this comes in the second part, how to set your HDRI according to your camera angles. Now we are going to take a short example of two camera angles. One is this, the other is this. So for the first part, as you can see that we have already cleared our camera angle, already set the good HDRI here. What we can do simply is we can insert keyframe, we can key this HDRI. Now move this key right here, 199, you have a key here. We have a change in camera position here, okay. I'm going to zoom it, shift B to zoom, okay. Now this one is here, and I think yes, just changing now. Now here what you have to do is you can set the HDRI according to your lighting needs. Now one more thing to take into consideration, whenever I change the angles of HDRI, it's going to affect the lighting, because we are setting this HDRI in background, and every HDRI have their own lighting angles. Now if you can see here, like I'm rotating it on Y, and as you see the lighting has changed. Here also, here lighting is bit changed. So you have to keep in mind that whenever you set your HDRI, the lighting needs to be perfect, and or at that time as well. Now what we can do is, I think we can just rotate it. For rotation you can see this here also, like this is X, and whenever I change or rotate on X, it's going to be rotated this in this direction, on Y this direction, on Z this direction. So we are going to change it on X. How do I notice that like I trace this X here, like this is X, this is Y, this is Z. So on X, if we rotate it, it will be rotated in this direction, giving us a smooth and flat HDRI. Now rotate it on X. See, I think this one looks okay. Now what I'm going to do right now, what I'm doing right now is I'm changing the lights according to my scene, like this one here. Okay, this is good. We're trying to find even better. I think this is good. So what you have to do, you have to key this one, replace keyframe, or what you can do is simply press I here, press I, set here, press I, set here, press I. So move your cursor, like if I'm going to, let me just delete single keyframe here. Now if I were to key this one or this section, I move my cursor here, X, Y, Z, no matter where, and press I. It's going to key all of the 3 rotation axes, same as scale, same as rotation. So here, as you can see, the HDRI is set that it doesn't disturb anything. Now what we are going to do is we are going to change this as HDRI according to our camera. So my camera angle is this, and I want my HDRI to add on to the good effect that I can, as good as it can be. So I think it's really good when the trees and everything just pops up behind your building and everything. It really does add realism. You know, this is a street light, right? I think we can use this one as well. We are going to change its location. Whoa, and it went haywire. So you need to take care that some of the values are sensitive. If you change 0.01, it's going to affect a lot of your scene. So you need to be very careful with these numbers. On X, the rotational shift is quite, I say it is also sensitive, but I think it will get the job done. And now what it needs, a slight rotation, like this is y-axis. I'm going to rotate it in this direction, so y-axis rotation, so rotate it on y-axis here, and I think this So I think this here looks okay. This is good. So this is keyed already. The yellow means it keyed, but for the safer side, let's press I again, and it is done. Like here, you can see the different HDRI, well, the same HDRI, but keyed or set with the camera angle differently. Here you can see the difference. So this is a small step how to key your HDR or set your HDR according to your camera. Like what I'm going to view is here. Okay, and whenever the camera moves, HDRI so remains the same. Till here, and when the camera changes, the HDRI is set perfectly with my scene. So whenever your camera angle changes even more, you can set them accordingly. The thing is, please take care whenever you keying on the camera, place your key at the exact moment when your camera changes. Like here, my camera key was this, set to this 211, and I set my HDRI key on the same time keyframe. Now when the camera angle changes, the HDRI keyframe also changed or keyed on 212. So you need to take care whenever your camera angle changes, place your HDRI keys on those keyframes only. So I think it's good enough. And actually I made this particular tutorial for one of my movie. Do check it out, and I will put the description. No, I think I will put my movie on the screen. You can check my movie also. So see ya, bye.